If you're thinking about buying your first home in Atlanta and you feel like you're walking through a fog, you don't know where to start, you don't know how much money you need, and honestly the whole thing feels a little overwhelming, this video is going to change that for you today. I'm going to break down the entire process from the financial foundation all the way through getting the keys in your hands. So stick around because we're covering everything. Welcome back, y'all. I'm Jared with the Fedora Home Advisors in Atlanta. If you're new here, this channel is all about helping people make smart, confident moves in the Atlanta real estate market. Hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss a thing. Now let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about money, because this is where most first-time buyers get tripped up before they even get started. Here's a big myth I hear all the time. Jared, I need 20% before I can even think about buying. And I don't want to squash that right now. That is simply not true. In Atlanta, plenty of first-time buyers are closing with as little as 3 to 5% down. Now, the average starting home in the Atlanta metro area now is sitting around $375,000. So at 3.5% down, you're looking at roughly $13,125. Still real money, but a whole lot more doable than saving $75,000 right now. Now here's something a lot of people overlook: closing costs. On top of the down payment, you need to budget another 2 to 3% of the loan amount for things like taxes, title insurance, lender fees. So plan for that. And here's another pro tip, definitely a game changer for some people. A lot of lenders offer first-time buyer home assistance programs and even help out with some of the closing costs for a first-time buyer or a buyer in general. So you should always look into that. Scouting neighborhoods. Now let's talk about where to live in Atlanta, because y'all, the city is not one size fits all. Atlanta is a collection of little villages. Each one has its own vibe. If you want walkability and love being close to Piedmont Park, Midtown might be calling your name, but be ready for a higher price point and more condo style living. If you want the true neighborhood feel, bungalow, ranch style homes, a little more breathing room on price, take a hard look at Medlock Park and Decatur. Those areas are consistently popular with first time buyers and still offer a pretty solid commute into the city. If top schools and more square footage are your priority, then areas like Alpharetta and Roswell are hard to beat. And here's a question I want you to sit with. What do you want your Saturday mornings to look like? Do you want to walk somewhere, or do you want to be in your backyard with your dog with some peace and quiet? Your answer to that question would tell you a lot about which part of Atlanta is right for you. Build your team. Okay, here's something I really feel strong about. Buying a home is a team sport. You wouldn't perform surgery on yourself, so don't try to navigate a 6-figure legal contract on your own either. You need 2 key people on your team: a buyer's agent and a lender. Your buyer's agent is the greatest advantage as your first time buyer. And in most cases, the seller pays the commission. So you're getting professional representation, negotiating expertise, and local market knowledge, no out-of-pocket cost to you. That's a big deal. So when you're interviewing agents, look for someone who really knows the Atlanta market. A good agent will walk you through what I call the 10 to 15 showing rule, touring enough homes to truly understand value before you write. Your lender is equally important, and in today's market, a pre-approval letter is your ticket entry in. Sellers won't even look at an offer without one. Make sure you're talking to a local lender who understands specifically taxes and insurance rate in the state. That stuff matters more than people realize. The search and strategy. So the good news about the 2026 Atlanta market, inventory is up compared to recent years. That means more options for you and a little more breathing room during negotiations. But I want to be real with you. Well-priced, well-maintained homes will still move fast. So don't sleep on a good one. One thing you cannot skip, and I mean this, is the home inspection. When you write an offer, you want an inspection contingency in the contract. That gives you the right to hire a professional to check the foundation, the roof, the electrical, and all the big ticket items in a home. If something major turns up, you can ask for repairs, negotiate price reduction, or walk away and get your earnest money back. The inspection typically runs around $500 to $1,000, and if it's hands down the best $500 to $1,000 you'll spend for the entire process. From offer to keys. All right, you found the one. What's next? First, your agent drafts the offer. In Atlanta, it's standard to include earnest money, usually around 1% of the purchase price, just to show the seller you're serious. Once the offer is accepted, you move to underwriting. This is where lenders verify everything. And I want to give you a word of warning here. Do not make any big purchases during this period. No new car, no furniture, only any credit. You want to do nothing that changes your financial picture, because it can literally disqualify your loan. Then comes the appraisal. The lender brings a third party to confirm the home is worth what you're paying. And finally, about 24 hours before closing, you'll do your final walkthrough to make sure everything is in order and agreed upon repairs were taken care of. And then you sit down at the closing table, sign the paperwork, and those keys are yours. Listen, moving to Atlanta and buying your first home is one of the best decisions you can make, and you don't want to do this all alone. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I read every one. And this video helped you out, share it with someone who you think may be making the move to Atlanta. It might be exactly what they need. Again, I'm Jared with the Fedora Home Advisor. Atlanta is waiting for you. We'll see you on the next one.